Welcome to the 99 Herd podcast. You are here with me, Anthony. You see over there, Bam, and our another co-host, Vemar.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Today is a special one for us. I'd like to introduce Ladenia. Yes, sir. Ladenia is gonna represent the youth, and if there's any youth out there that want to hop on the podcast, has some points or anything they want to talk about, let us know. Shoot us a message. DM
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing, man.
But yeah, let's get straight into it.
Yep.
I think Vemar did the topics this week. Vemar, you wanna introduce us?
That is right. My bad, y'all. We got some new cameras. That's why we're trying to figure out how to use it and all. But yeah, I got some good topics that I think that would really impact, youth. It's first one should be pride. One of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
And humility.
Hey,
That's our second topic. And Dina got her topic. Dina,
Yes,
can you
sir.
what is your topic? Can you explain it again, Dina?
Sure. My topic today has to do with the concept of crashing out, or stressing over the little things, or the things that, things that you can't handle, but you still choose to lose your head over it.
Yep.
Don't lose your head.
Don't lose your head, guys.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, pride. What is pride to you guys? First of all, what does it mean to you?
Who wants to go first?
Well, our guest. I think our guest should go first.
Yeah.
So before you answer the question, just tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, sir.
We know you go to school and stuff, but if you want to share with the people.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Ladenia. I'm 17. I'm currently a senior at Tafuna High School, and
Warriors.
I attend church
Yep.
at Great Life 684. Honestly, I don't have much to say about myself, but it's really an honor to be here, to be the representation for the youth. And I hope that whatever it is that we share today, the youth is impacted by it. And I use my voice as just to put ourselves out there, and that, the youth knows that they matter, their voice matters.
That's so good.
Yes, sir. That's what's up. I think it's very important nowadays to let the youth know that they have a voice, because sometimes a lot of people just disregard youth being childish, or they're too young, they're not mature enough, but the thing is, everybody has a different life, and everybody is raised differently. So when we grow up, we have different mindset, different mentalities, and I feel like the youth nowadays are more in tune with what's going on with the island, the world, and government, our culture and all that. So yeah, let's jump into it. Dina, what do you think of pride?
Pride, in my opinion, pride can be both a good and a bad thing. It all depends on how it's viewed or how you use it, because so I wrote down a few things. Pride can be considered both a good and bad thing depending on the context. While feeling pride in your accomplishments or personal achievements is generally positive, excessive pride that leads to arrogance or a sense of superiority over others is considered negative. The Bible views pride as, in Proverbs 11 verse 2, when pride comes, then comes grace, but with the humble is wisdom.
That's good.
Pride is, motivation-wise, is feeling proud of everything that you've accomplished. Pride, in a sense of being a Christian, is being proud of how far you've come in your walk with Christ, how much you've grown, and just feeling proud and knowing that the Lord is proud of you and how much you've grown with him is a good thing.
Yeah.
But when you focus too much on personal pride and you focus too much on yourself, you're like, okay, this is how far I've come, but they're still like over there, you know, they're still in that stage of their life.
Yeah.
When you were once there, so you know, you shouldn't, just because you're on the right path and you know you're growing in your walk with God, doesn't give you the right to put down other Christians who are trying to grow in their faith.
That's good.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's
pretty
really
good.
good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Especially when you're a new Christian, you know, a baby Christian. And the thing about that is, like, it's good to be a new Christian. Like, you know, it's good to start your faith in God at any age. You know, it doesn't matter if you're young, old, or, you know, middle age. It just, like, you know, the building a foundation with God is what matters most. And, you know, yeah, I like what you said. Like, yeah.
I like that. I remember the first day I got my license, like I got my driver's license, I felt untouchable. Like, you know, like that first like 2 months you get your license, you're going 80. I mean, I'm from Vegas, so you know, speed limit is 65.
Yeah.
The highest I ever went, I went like 110, 120. Like I was just zooming, right? You feel untouchable, right?
Hey,
You
that's
feel-
pretty high, man. 120.
Yeah,
That's
no, yeah,
crazy.
I'm not-
20, wait, I didn't even clock that. bro.
120? Like, how
Man.
fast? What were you doing
On
in the
the
first place
highway,
at 120,
freeway?
bro?
Bro, it was
adrenaline
like
rush is
right.
crazy.
It was like 1 a.m. I was just like, let's just do it, man. I was racing my friend, but you know, you get your license, you feel untouchable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a spirit
Yeah.
of pride to where like once you're in it, like you're like, oh, no one can touch me. And then you know, it took one day where I got pulled over. I was going 20 over, not even the
Damn.
110. No, I got pulled over.
He got arrested, bro.
Yeah, I just got off of work. I was working at a coffee shop, and I got off work, and then I was just trying to speed to get back home. I was like, I'm over work. I want to go home.
Yeah.
And then I get pulled over. I'm like, man, I was 17 at the time, young guy. Dini is age, and then you know I was scared for my life. I was a little skinny
Yeah,
kid
have you
with
spent in
glasses,
your
you know.
life
Like, and I was like, you know, hecka scared, and then you know, gave me the ticket, and I was like, okay, so I had to pay my price. You know, I had to go to court. I had to pay my however much it was. And that kind of goes with the scripture where Dini was talking about, where you know pride comes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before the fall. You know, where you feel untouchable, where you feel like oh, I know it all, like I learned everything, like you know nothing can touch me. And then you know it took that ticket until I'm like, dang. And I didn't tell my parents about it until later. And then you know that was a prideful thing too. My mom was like, why did the insurance go up? I was like, oh, about that. But you know, the Lord has taught me, you know, what it means to be humble in that space and how not to use pride right. To use pride the right way, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, funny story. What do you think, Vemar? You ever been in a situation like that?
Oh man, I never drove 120 in my lifetime. That's crazy. I mean, you were 17, you know, that's understandable. And when you were pretty young, we do some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not innocent of that. You know, we did some dumb stuff, but I think for that, I mean, what was you gonna do with your driver license? You know, like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down. Hell no, you're gonna drive that thing, bro, in 120, right? But I think it's yeah, that's pretty normal, honestly, dude. Like, yeah, you're good, man.
Would you say that I was prideful for doing that?
I think you were just excited. Yeah, you know, excited to
Yeah.
have that driver's license. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes when you have something you tend to like, you don't even know what to do.
Right,
in
and
the
that's
first
what
place,
Ali
you
was
know?
talking about with like, you know, the faith and like
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
we watch like 3 Christian videos. We're like, oh, we know it all. Like, no, like past it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, who's that guy, Cliff?
that's my guy.
Damn. Do you know who Cliff is?
No, I don't. Is he
Exactly.
a pastor?
Don't disrespect my guy, bro.
Exactly, man.
What the exactly?
Cliff is this he's this pastor in
Okay,
Connecticut.
yeah.
He goes to different college campuses and he starts debating kids about like
Oh,
Jesus
I
Christ.
think I've
Yeah,
seen
he
that.
kind of
Yeah.
stands kind of funny, if you know
Yeah,
what I'm talking
yeah,
about. Yeah. And you know, speaking with pride, like it takes a lot of humility to even do
Yeah.
that in front of kids that you know are not going to change, but you know, just for the chance for it. But you know, if anyone wants to answer the question, like, what's another example in your guys' life where you felt like pride took control of what you were doing or what you were following?
And do you want to answer that?
I don't know. I mean, for me, I've never been prideful. I've always been mindful, you know, when it comes to things, because I don't know, when you're raised differently, you see things differently, in the sense that, you know, don't take everything for granted. Always know that there might not be tomorrow. So I think for me, it would be having pride. Like instead of like having too much pride, it's me. Like for me, it's like having pride, because the thing like, bro, I used to draw pictures, right? And I thought, man, that's pretty cool, and like I guess like I took pride in it, and then I see like my cousin's drawing, and it's like out of this world, like crazy.
What, a squirrel?
Out of this
Oh,
world.
out of this world. My bad. I'm deaf in both ears now, I guess. Yeah. But carry on, bro. My bad.
Yeah, it's like out of this world, and like to me, I guess it was just like, then I was like, damn, like I started questioning myself, questioning like how good my work is, and then like I feel like that's been my life like for the longest time. So like for me, it's like I've never really had like too much pride, because I never really was into things to have that pride, And the thing about me is I either, like for me, like how I see it, it's like, all right, if that guy is doing like really good, then I gotta do something else, or I gotta work at it 2 times, And even in basketball, like,
Oh,
Yes,
for sure. Yeah. For sure.
even in basketball, like for me, bro, like my freshman year, I wanted to play basketball, but Voltic didn't have any basketball team.
Yeah.
So I never really got into basketball. And then sophomore year, I went for tryouts, bro. Honestly, all I could say is, I think the only reason why I was in is because I was tall, because like I did not.
Dude,
know
the first
anything.
time I've seen this guy in a basketball court, I thought this guy was 35, bro. Like,
Wow.
he had a grown,
Okay.
he had a grown beard and everything like that. And I was like, who
Hey.
brought this man to a high school game right now, man?
Just letting y'all know, I didn't have a beard or anything when I was a sophomore. It was just senior year. I was just like, you know what, bro? It's senior year. There's really nothing, So I just let it grow, and But like even senior year, like, bro, I was in the team for 2 years, and like I went tryouts. Of course you're gonna have to try out, right, bro? When I saw that 2 football players were like ahead of me, and like I didn't even make the list. I was just like, bro, like what the heck? That's when I started like working. That's when I started like working hard, and started like doing more conditioning and stuff, and like I just worked hard, and just try to make minutes and stuff. But even then, I wasn't really in the game, But like the fact that the football players were in the team before me, that's what like motivated me to like do more, And in practice, like I would do like really good, But sometimes coaches down here, they see shooters and shooters over big guys. So I think in that sense, that's where like that's how I view pride is trying to gain pride, like having pride in my game.
Yeah.
And I love that because like if you had a prideful spirit, you would have been like well with where you were at.
Bro,
With your
I
skills.
honestly would be in JUCO, bro.
For real. Yeah, you're like what, 6'4"?
Yeah, 6'4".
Shooter.
Yeah.
Shooter height.
Like I feel like pride like limits us to where we feel like we arrived already.
Yeah.
To where we feel
Yeah.
like we're already at where we need to add, when humility like tells us like, okay, like I still have room for improvement.
Yeah.
I always think I'm somewhat good on guitar until like I pull up YouTube and I see this Chinese kid playing at like 200 miles per hour. Like, like, and that humbles me because I'm.
Now, what's up with Asian dudes be like dribbling so fast?
That's like-
bro? That's crazy.
like, that's my philosophy.
Bro, they use the Kyrie method, the plastic bag in basketball.
You know, I tried that.
Bro, that's...
That actually works.
Yeah, bro, Kyrie... How do you think Kyrie got the handles, bro?
Who, Kyrie?
Yeah,
Dude,
bro.
I thought you said Curry, bro.
Nah, Curry's a
Really
different
are
man.
different.
Bro, you need headphones, bro. Where's your headphones?
Hey, the wire's too short, so I can really... And I'm like handling the camera work right now.
Here, use this one. This is long enough.
Oh, now I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm Gucci, man. Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Denia, when it comes to Gucci's crazy? What do you think, like, you know, hearing our stories on Pride, like, is there any time in your life where you felt like Pride brought you to a place of, like, where God kind of brought you down from where you were at?
Yeah, I feel like, well, because like being put in leadership positions, the leadership position that I'm in now at school, it's, you try to maintain the mentality that you are not better than anybody. You know, even though you're high up there and, you know, you have a high leadership position, that still, you still need to humble yourself. You're just as equal as everybody at the end of the day, you know? And so I think one of the moments where like the Lord was like, okay, you need to sit down and you need to reevaluate yourself was when I think it was my junior year. We were doing, we were trying to look for new staff members. And I know that, is there something called silently being prideful?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so you see someone working like extra hard on something and you're like, okay, I gotta one up them in a way. It's just like, let me just do it better than them.
Motivation.
So maybe, so let me do it better than them so that way they can look at me instead of them. You know?
Dang, that's crazy.
Nah, and sometimes like when you do that,
Yeah.
they act like you're fia gang or fia come or anything.
Exactly, that's-
and it's just to like support, you know, like
Yeah.
this is what you gotta do, and you know, I think that's the type of mentality that we have down here. Like in high school, is like when you're trying to do better for yourself, they think that like, oh, this guy's showing off or this girl's showing off, but no, you just
That's true.
you're just doing your job, you know.
But I wasn't, that wasn't my mindset then. Like,
Oh,
I was
what? Damn, she was fia gangy, bro.
I think that's people's problems.
like I was trying to be better, but I wasn't more focused on being better for myself. I was more focused on being better than them.
Dang,
you know?
that's crazy.
Yeah. And so like when the time came, we did staff positions. I remained in my same staff position from sophomore year, and everyone else moved up. And I was like, okay, this was my sign. This is the Lord telling me, sit down. You have more room for improvement. Where you are now, your job there isn't done.
Damn.
You know? Yeah. So he was like, okay, you need to humble yourself and you need to sit back and
Relax.
Yep.
Take a step back.
yeah.
Airball.
I got more for you, just not now.
Yeah.
So a no from God is simply a not
That's
yet.
good.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's so good. And that goes with, you know, being patient, you know.
Yeah.
Like humility will make things a lot shorter than they ought to be.
Yes.
When pride, you know, will
Definitely.
delay our process.
Yeah.
Well, like, and that's such a great story, like with you know, you and not being promoted because of that.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you know, like, it's
Yeah.
like spiritual prophetic stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's really good. That's really awesome.
Dang. All right then. All right, let's continue this.
Yeah.
When it comes to pride, I think of identity. What do you guys think?
Oh.
How does pride affect your identity? And I like what Denia said, where it motivated her to do better. I mean, it might have been like not in the right with the right intentions, but like, you know, the thing is, as long as you know what your limit is, or as long as you know that, you know, you can be humbled by God any day, then, you know, I think you're on the right path. But, you know, having pride and knowing how to navigate it while being humble, I think that's a good thing, you know. But yeah, what do you guys think of how does pride affect your identity?
To me, I think pride is is a good thing for me actually. But I think having too much pride is that's when it goes bad, you know. And it's nothing wrong having a little bit of pride. And to me, throughout my life, I was being pretty prideful. I think like I could do everything, you know, if I put my mind into it, and just literally like think like, oh, I can do this, you know, nobody's gonna teach me to it. But if you think like that all the time, we're thinking like you don't take any advices from anybody or any criticism actually, like, you know, for you to able to grow. And I think that's when pride becomes a bad thing, you know, because I can use pride as my boost to do something, you know, because I can't just be, if I'm able to do something, I have to have pride of my actions. Like, oh, I can do this. I'm confident enough that I think I can finish this job, you know. And when I was in the Word, that's when I was thinking like, damn, I didn't know pride was a thing. Like, you know, it was a sin. I thought it was a good thing. You know, I thought it was like confidence, but it's too much pride where it becomes like a deadly sin where it affects people around you. It affects your relationship with others, and it affects you mentally too. And I had to calm down with my trash talking when it comes to basketball and stuff, which is crazy. You know, I
had to.
I talk mad trash for real, and I was like so bad. You know,
it was really bad.
Damn, okay. All right. Yeah. But yeah, I think what I learned throughout the Bible is having too much of everything is bad. You know, and to me that pride could be a good thing is how you see it in a way, or how it becomes too much. And that's just me though. Yeah.
I love how you drew the line between confidence and pride. That, you know, we have confidence, and ultimately that confidence is Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But, you know, when we have too much confidence in our own abilities and what we know is best, that's when pride comes in. You know, James 4:6, God gives grace to the humble, but the prideful will fall. Something like that. Forgive me for not remembering. But, you know, like, I love how Vemar said there's a fine line between confidence and pride. And I could say it like this, like, I can either say I'm someone, but I'm also Christian, or I'm a Christian that happens to be someone. Right? I'm a Christian that just so happens to sing. Yeah. I'm a Christian that just so happens to play guitar. I'm a Christian that just so happens to walk this life I'm walking. I'm not defined by my ability or the gifts that God has given me. No, I'm defined by who gave me the gifts, and that's Jesus. And in Galatians 2:20, I pulled it up, is I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. And when we have Jesus Christ in our hearts, when we accept the love of Jesus Christ, it's no longer defined on what I'm good at or what I do or my capabilities and abilities, but I'm defined solely by the grace that he's already given me. Amen. And I feel like that's a lot easier to remember, like how to be humble is like, dang, like, I'm nothing without him, you know? Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think for me, identity-wise, I think a great story is Samson. Like, the thing about Samson is his identity was his hair.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that's so good.
Like, his hair was like
his pride and joy.
Yeah, like his pride and joy. But what, like, from confidence turned into pride because he relied on his hair. He didn't rely on God. God gave him his, you know, his ability. Yeah. And, you know, yeah, that was just an interesting story, like, how, like, it's not even about Delilah. Like, you know, of course.
Freaking Delilah.
Yeah. Freaking Delilah. Dang it.
Hey there, Delilah. Why'd you cut my hair?
Hey there, Delilah. You know.
Hey, you was about to bust out some notes, man.
Crazy, bro.
Nah, but, like, it's not even about her. Like, the thing is, it started with him and it ended with him. Like, you know, it started where he was praising God. He was, like, you know, giving God, like, everything, you know, giving his heart and soul. And then, like, once he got attention, once he got, like, confidence, and once he got eyes on him, then it started turning into, you know, oh, it's the hair. Yeah. Oh, like, you know, it's the hair. Yeah. And then I feel like the moment that Delilah got him to say that it's his hair, that's when pride came. Because, he could have said, like, Delilah asked him, like, where do you get your strength? Where do you get your, where do you get these abilities from? He could have said God. He could have said, like, everything that I have is from God. But he went directly to the source. Like, the source is the hair, yeah. Or the extension of the source, which is the hair. The source is God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
He didn't go to the source. He went to the extension of the source. And he made that extension, like, he made it powerful. He made it like, like the ideal, like, oh, okay, that's where he's getting his strength from.
Yeah.
And then right when he told, bro, they cut it.
Involved.
They trapped him, they trapped him. And the thing about Samson is, just because his pride led him to his destruction,
Yeah.
it didn't mean that God was done with him. God still had plans for him.
Yeah.
God still had, like, God still gave him a chance because, he knew where he messed up.
Yeah.
He knew where it all went down, So as soon as he got back to his relationship with God, that's when it started to come back. It might have not been the same, but as long as he knew that God was the main source, then he was good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really
That is
good.
good.
Pride can cause us to idolize things, like the gifts from God.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like to make us defined by what He gives us. That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
insight.
I like what you said about your singing, bro. Like, the thing about singing nowadays is it's so mainstream.
Speak on
But
it.
like, the thing is, it depends on who's singing and what are you singing for. That's what sets you apart from everybody else. Because if you're singing for the people, if you're singing to get money, if you're singing like that, hey, that's what's up. Getting the money.
Yeah.
Feeding your family, feeding whoever. That's what's up. But the thing is, God gave you that.
Yeah.
God gave you that
That's true.
get that gift. And if you're not praising the Lord, then, bro, you can easily tell who's praising the Lord and who's
Who's
not.
just singing right.
Yeah.
And Denia, I hate to air you out, but you have a very nice voice.
Yes,
You-
sir.
Beyonce level
you-
voice,
right? Like I'd
Thank
say
you,
better.
Beyonce.
I'd say listen. I'd say better than Beyonce because if Denia sang Amazing Grace and Beyonce sang Amazing Grace, I don't think it'd hit the same. But here's what I'm saying. That was a compliment
You
towards
don't got that Polynesian swagger into it,
With you, often serving on your worship team, and as well as growing up in, churches where you'd often sing, how do you draw yourself away from the talent that God has given you versus like, okay, I need to draw to like the heart of worship and what it truly means? How do you get like out of that headspace?
I'd say when you're singing from when you're singing certain songs and you're listening to the lyrics of those songs, you're singing from a standpoint of you've been through so much and God has brought through so much, and so singing His praises just hits a lot different. When you're singing from a place of He delivered me from this when I was going through a lot, and when you cultivate that mindset of it's not about you, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just maintaining the mindset that you are where you are today because
Right.
of the Lord.
Yeah.
Amen.
And so when I'm singing on the worship team and like I just stand there, I kind of just lose myself. I kind of just lose myself in the presence because I'm like, I forget that I'm singing too, because you know how worship team where we have one song after the other, but sometimes you just want to stand there and you just want to linger in the presence of the Lord because it's like he's just too good to stop praising at that point, you
That's
know,
good.
because you know how every song comes to an end. You just you kind of just need a moment just to stand there and be alone with the Lord, you know, when you remember how much he's brought you through and just living in the goodness of God constantly, you know, every day he's waking you up to a brand new day, you know. It just, worship hits a lot different when there's a story behind it.
That's so good. Dang,
Yes, sir.
that's really good. Especially, you know, like, not to air anybody out, but like especially like a lot of big worship leaders, you know, like you can tell when it's for show, and you can tell
Big
When it's
time,
you know, like when
Air
it's
them out.
genuine.
Air them out.
Yeah.
That's so good. What song specifically for you like hits like the hardest, like with the spirit?
Gratitude by Brandon Lake.
That's such a good song.
Because the chorus is, and so I throw up my hands and praise you again and again. Because all that I have to say is hallelujah. You know, there's not much that I can say to express the gratitude that my heart holds for what the Lord has done for me. And sometimes you kind of just sit there, and there will be times when I will be on my knees and I'll be crying and I'm like, Lord, thank you. Because I wouldn't be where I am today without you. You know, so if I'm just having a rough week or a rough day, I kind of just turn on the song and I'm just like, okay, I need to just sit here and just allow God to just work in me, because I know I've been stressing myself out a lot lately, and sometimes I forget, and you know, sometimes the Lord reminds me and he goes, you just need to sit down. You just need to be patient and wait. Okay, what about you, Vemar? Well, this goes for everybody. The question's for everyone, but I want to ask Vemar specifically, what song or what worship song gets you through your hardest days?
Dude, Luther by Kendrick Lamar.
I'm gonna smack you. Bro, you had one job.
I'm just playing. Damn, don't throw something at me. Damn. Nah, for real though, it's Gyra by Elevation. Yeah, Elevation Worship and Maverick City. Haters. Damn. Hating on me for what? Yeah, but nah, that was the first song that remember our youth night?
Yeah.
Our very first youth night in the church. That was the very first song that really got me into like a trance or something, like a spiritual trance. Like I could feel like the Holy Spirit like was in that room, in that building, and then I just fell in love in this song, and that was the only like gospel song that I that I really kept singing every day. I didn't even know that. I was like, damn, this song is very like
Can you sing it for us?
Nope, I'm not gonna sing it.
Just for the people who don't know this song.
Sing the chorus. Sing the chorus.
Huh?
Chorus.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Yeah. But how about you, man? What's one song that you really
I'm glad you asked.
touched your soul? Man?
One of my favorite worship songs of all time is "Rest on Us" by Maverick City and Brandon Lake.
That's a good one.
And I love that song specifically because like it would make it makes you think like, okay, why am I asking God to rest? You know what I mean? Like, why am I asking the Spirit to rest? You know, like what sense does that make? But what I realize is like when we ask the Spirit to rest on us, we allow him to do what he needs to do. And we allow him just to sit on our lives, to sit on top of us, to sit over our situations, to control and to do what he believes is best.
Amen.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up.
How about you, Ann?
Fred!
You got
Run it back!
you got giggled and everything, you know? Huh?
Mine is a Firm Foundation from Elevation Worship.
Is my firm foundation.
Yes, sir. That one. And you know, that one really, I don't know. I mean, it really tells a story. You know, yeah, just building our relationship with God and, yeah, having a firm foundation.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amazing.
City.
Nah, it's just really deep, you know, and like, you know, when you're going through things or even when you're happy, you know, you run to that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you run to your worship song. And you know, like if you're a new Christian, it's okay that you have one like Christian song. And what I mean by that is like there's like that one Christian song that you know that you run to. You know, it's like Gyra or Gratitude or anything. You know, but yeah. I think that about.
You rapping, bro?
Frickin' Vemar! Bro, I got the Vemar stutters, man.
Hey, nah, you good.
And I think that about wraps it up for today.
Amen.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us on the 99 Her podcast. Check us out on the next one.
Yes,
thank you very
sir.
much.
Guys.